So if you missed the Google Meet today, here's what we are talking about. And you should have, from last week, finished putting the labels on this map for the different regions in these boxes. You should also have all of these, the title, the compass rose date, your name as the author. You should have a few things in your key for Daniel Boone. Your source should be filled in. You should have the names of these Native American tribes right here, put back on this map here. So far in your key, you should have Boone's Route, which was the Wilderness Road and the Great Valley Road, and the Cumberland Gap. You should have a symbol for that here, and it should be located on your map somewhere right around here. So those things should be there. Today, we're getting to Lewis and Clark. So you already should have done the questions for Daniel Boone. If you haven't, you need to go back and do this first. And you should have the article that this is linked to here would give you answers. If you had any trouble with the reading of that article or finding these answers, there was a recording of the reading of the article and some help finding answers. Where you would find that is in today's directions. If you back up through the directions in Schoology, when you're on this page here, click this arrow and go back, and it will have the reading help. Okay, it also has all of the screencasts of each day's lessons on there. So just page back in here and you'll find it. Okay, so what we are up to is Lewis and Clark today. There's a video that you're watching called America's Louisiana Purchase. It's linked to this. It's not an Edpuzzle video. It's just found on YouTube. And it will be talking to you about Thomas Jefferson buying the Louisiana Territory, who he got it from, how much it cost. It might really shock you. What it did to the size of the U.S. And then they're going to talk a little bit about acquiring Florida as well. When did we get that and who did we get it from and how? When you get to the end of the video, that's it for December 7th for today's lesson. If you get these questions done, tomorrow, there is an article on Lewis and Clark, of course, linked to this. If you go in there, you'll find that. You'll also find reading help for that article. So if you need a little help finding these answers, this is more about Lewis and Clark and their exploration, the core of discovery. So you'll be finding out what it was they were trying to accomplish. What did Jefferson want them to do? The Native American tribes that helped them. Of course, you're going to find out who they hired as a guide and who his wife was, the different paths they took and why, and then one of the more important questions, according to the last section of the article, how did the core of discovery contribute to westward expansion? In other words, what did they do to help people move west? And then again, you're going to have things to add to your map from this last slide here. Lewis and Clark, the core of discovery. You're going to need their route. You're going to need the Snake River because it's not labeled yet on this map. You may have to draw that in. You're going to need Fort Mandan and Fort Clatsop, and the Yellowstone River, which again is not labeled on this map, so you need to find that. Now, making sure that the core of discovery route is not the same color as the Wilderness and Great Valley roads or Boone's route here. That has to be a different color. And the rivers, if you have to draw them in, will have to be blue like the other rivers on the map to make it correct. Okay, tomorrow we're going to get a quick lesson on things you might not know about Sacagawea. So we have a little image of her here, but I'm going to give you a little background on her. It's not quite what you're hearing in the videos. We have a little bit more information about her than we did in the past. It might be a little surprising. So you went from Boone to Lewis and Clark. So Boone, how he helped settle Kentucky and things like that. Lewis and Clark, of course, move out to the west following the Missouri River. And they're going to find a whole different route towards the Pacific Ocean instead of just across the Appalachians. So they're going to be crossing the Rockies. So that's today's video that you're watching. All right, and like I said, tomorrow we'll be back for a lesson on Sacagawea.